My name is Sean Muhammad. I'm a math teacher. I've been teaching for 26 years. I currently teach Math 8, but I've taught everything ranging from basic math all the way up to pre-calculus. One of the challenging aspects of PBIS, and having just a blanket program, is that there are a lot of wonderful students that do a lot of wonderful things every day. And it's not always easy to acknowledge them because there isn't a way to, let me rephrase it. It's not typical to stop what you're doing, write down a name, remember it at the end of the day, and then log that through whatever device or program you're using. One of the easy things about Acorn was having a card that you were able to hand out, almost like a business card, so to speak, that you're able to hand out to students in recognition and an acknowledgement of the program. I would verbally recognize students as often as I recognize or acknowledge something that they did, which is quite frequently. There are a lot of wonderful students. But one of the challenges was that being able to give them some kind of tangible acknowledgement. It wasn't always easy because, like I said, I'd have to stop what I'm doing, remember it at the end of the day, and then figure out a way to log or register it. And so that was an aspect that was kind of frustrating because, yeah, it is good to kind of give those verbal, acknowledgments, but tangible students enjoy tangibles. They love them. Yes, I had a student a young lady actually, who at the start of the school year, I had some instructions for them to follow. She followed the instructions to a T, and I was able to just walk by and place the coupon or the card on her desk, and I just kept moving. And she ended up asking me what it was for, and I told her it was a reward card. But like I didn't have to do anything extra other than give her the card and move on. And once she recognized what it was for, she was like, "Oh wow, okay." She got pretty excited, so I thought that was pretty cool. Actually, it is only an additional thing to manage if, in terms of being cumbersome, if you don't have them readily on you. What I mean by that, so if I have them on my desk drawer while I'm walking around the classroom, then I'd have to stop what I'm doing to go get them, pull them out, and then start handing them out. What I did is I actually kept them on my clipboard or I kept them in my hand or pocket. So when I'm walking around, I'm able to acknowledge, hand out. And it was really streamlined. So it made things a lot easier because, when I keep going back to that, there are a lot of wonderful students that do a lot of wonderful things, so much so that acknowledging them all is an impossibility, but being able to acknowledge them in the moment is made a lot easier by having something to just give to them, and you can just keep it pushing, you can keep it moving on. I would tell them, I would tell them that in using it, keep the cards on you, physically on you, because it'll make it a lot easier for you to acknowledge those students that you want to recognize. But I think it's a great way to incentivize learning. Now, on a personal note, if given an opportunity to say the students should do, I mean, if I could make a declaration, the students should do well just for the sake of doing well, um, I'm like, okay, cool. Then we don't need anything PBIS, right? But at the end of the day, I don't come to work for free. So I get paid, I get compensated for doing a job. And I think having an opportunity or a resource by which we can compensate students for doing things, even though they should already be doing these things, but I think it helps sets up a pattern for them to say, okay, look, if I do these things that, yeah, I'm supposed to do them for my own benefit, but if I do them, then there is a reward at the end of the day. There is a reward at the end of the tunnel. And typically, students get asked, when am I going to need this? When am I going to do this? How is this beneficial to me? Well, in the immediate, it's beneficial because now all of a sudden you got some reward points that you can spend here on campus. It gives you access to things that everybody else will not necessarily be able to do. But it's all done in recognition of the great work that you've done in the classroom and behaviors on campus. I would say 10 because I think at the end of the day, we have to reach those students that are actually trying to do their very best and letting them know that, yeah, there is benefit in doing well in school. You know, and this is going maybe a little into the future. A lot of students don't recognize exactly where they're going to end up if they don't take certain steps. And I think by utilizing something like Acorn, a reward incentive program, it allows us to play the Pied Piper, where we can lead them in a particular direction. Versus without it, yeah, there may be a few that will obviously gravitate towards the academics. But sadly, many people, if they don't see benefit in doing something, or if they don't see an immediate tangible benefit, they kind of just, they're dismissive of it. And I find that a very funny phenomenon in life, that it's not until several years later that we recognize, hey, I could have done X, Y, and Z. So I think something like an incentive program such as this, that allows the immediate gratification, allows the immediate reward for the student, I think it helps set up that behavior pattern. And the funny thing is, school is not difficult, but I think oftentimes without any real tangible reward, students see it as difficult because it's like all intellectual. They don't really see how they're getting anything out of it. So having a tangible reward at the end of the day, I think it really helps.